Hi everyone, it's Heidi from flutterbyheidi.co.uk, back again with another project for you, and this is part of my Keep It Simple Saturday, my KISS project, or Simple Saturday, which is just about simple cards, paper, bit of stamping, bit of embellishment, but something that is designed for any level of crafter to do. And this time it's a card using the Love What You Do stamp set and the Share What You Love specialty designer series paper. In May 2018, this is on a special offer as a package, and go to my blog for details of that. But basically you get free stuff if you buy it in bundles, and it is designed for the beginner stamper. The beauty of this paper, it's called designer specialty because if you look, it's got a pearlized sheen, which hopefully you can just pick, and that's because this year is the 30th anniversary. The colours in here are gorgeous. These are the colour cardstock that goes with it, so you've got rich raspberry, blackberry bliss, tranquil tide, and the cardstock is just beautiful. One side has got a lovely pearlized sheen, and then as always the other side is a kind of a uniform background paper that you can use, but super floral images, yeah, lots to love about that. So this is the project, and as I say, it's a very straightforward card, and one that any level of crafter can do, and I'll take you right from the start in making the card. What I've done here is it's using the new pearl doilies, which actually arrive pearl on one side and plain white on the other, and all I've done is I've coloured those with our alcohol markers to get that colour toning finish. So that's what we're doing. Away we go. So to start off with, you're going to need to create a card base, and I've simply made one out of A4 cardstock, and all you need to do is cut your cardstock to ours is 11 3/4 in England anyway, and so you're going to trim a piece to 4 1/8, so it is literally exactly half a piece of cardstock straight down the middle, and then if you pop it in at 5 7/8, that creates your card base. So it's as simple as that. When I'm doing them in centimetres, I do tend to trim it down to 29 and do 14.5 by 10.5, but that creates our card base. You're then going to need to cut your cardstock, and the cardstock to go with that, which I've just thrown on the floor. I'm just going to make it 1/4 inch narrower, so it's going to be 5 5/8 by 3 7/8, so that's that little mark just before the 4. So that's my 3 7/8 by 5 5/8. Okay, and that creates our layer to go onto our card, so I'll build that up as we go along. Then the DSP, and this, I'll use the same one here, see, double-sided, and I'm going to go 3 5/8, so 3 1/2 and a little bit more. By 5 3/8. Let me just check that. Yes, it is. Okay, and that creates our layer to go on the front there. Next, I'm actually using some a bit more of the old olive and a little bit more of a little bit of mint macaron, and for those layers, this is 3 by 2 1/2 inches. So 3 by 2 1/2. Just going to go on like so. Mint macaron is 2 7/8 by 2 3/8. That's going to create our layer like so. And then our whisper white, oops, is 2 3/4 by 2 1/4. And what that gives you is just a very narrow. So on the larger piece I've got a 1/4 of an inch border, whereas I've got an 1/8 of an inch layer for the other ones. And that's just to give a little bit of variation and to show you how to do narrow borders. With centimetres, I just do 1/2 centimetre. I find that works really well for a nice border all the way around. So having done that, pop your trimmer away. And we can now start colouring our doily. So all I've got is a piece of scrap paper, and just show you very simply, I've just taken the brush tip end of our stamping blends, and all I'm going to do is just colour over the top. Now obviously you could actually add layers of colour, you could add shading, you could have accents, but this is a great way to get a doily that coordinates with the colours that you're using in your cardstock. Obviously we're getting some lovely new colours in blends very soon, so that is fantastic. Now I'm just going to leave that to dry very slightly so I don't smudge it, as I already have. It just takes a few moments just for the alcohol to dry. So pop that to one side, and that's one of the reasons for putting on a piece of paper, so I can just lift it and tuck it out to one side. And while I'm doing that, we can now do our stamping. So I'm using Old Olive. These are the old ink pads, but you may know that the ink pads are changing, so that's quite exciting. And they're having a new defoaming agent to stop any bubbling. So I'm tucking the sentiment, and what I do is I find it easiest to sort of pop it in a corner there, and then once I know that my card is square, being photopolymer, I can just look through and hopefully get a reasonably straight sentiment as well. And what I've done to stamp the, I'm going to pop my doily there, to stamp my flowers is, you'll see I've actually gone for a paler shade. I found that Old Olive Straight was a little bit dark, so we're just stamping off and adding our flower for the second impression. Again at the bottom, and again. Pop our Old Olive away, and Rich Raspberry is what I've got here. And again, I'm going to do quite a bit of stamping off here because I found that I wanted to get it a light image. So stamp once, twice, and then on the flower. And this isn't designed to be a complete fit. So it is designed to kind of go over the edge. And where it overlaps, you just get that nice bit of shading. Don't do what I've done, which is just stamp on the edge of your Whisper White cardstock. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp a bit more on that one. Yeah. And then I'm coming in, I'm then using some of these beautiful new artisan pearls. As you can see here, lovely shades of pinks and all sorts of colours. So I'm just going to use my pokey tool, I've got a little strip of them here, just to add some little pearls. And I'm going to pop one on that corner because I've made a mess of it. And you can just pop them all over, just to add a little bit of interest to it as well. Okay, so the next thing to do is to layer this card up, and that's why I say it is as easy as that. So pop that to one side to dry, and I'm going to come in with my snail. Did a rubbish job there, coming off the edge, and just pop that layer onto my cardstock. And what I'm doing is I'm just, there we go, squaring that up as much as I can. Same with our, and I've deliberately not used dimensionals on this main panel to keep it reasonably flat because there's a fair amount of dimension already. on the card with those layers. So I'm going to put my layers together, and I'll show you how I add that doily onto the back. So there's our little layer. I probably should have added the pearls on afterwards. Not a good idea to try and put glue on the back of something that's got layers and pearls on it. Okay. Now, what I'm doing now is I'm going to come in with my fuse and just pop a bit of fuse on the two edges there. Then with my snips, I'm going to just cut up the middle of this doily. And because they're pearlised, they're actually quite robust. So you can just then centre that. And I found it was easiest to kind of use the scallops on the edge to try and get it level. I'm never very good at level. And then all I've done then is grab some dimensionals. Yeah, I've actually got most things to hand today. Miracles do happen, you know. And then I just pop those, one in each corner and one in the middle. Then pop that into the middle of your card. And there you have a sweet and simple card using the Share What You Love. So I'm sharing what I love, which is crafting with you. Hope you've enjoyed that. If you want to buy any of the products that you've seen here, so that's the DSP, the Love What You Do stamp set, these lovely artisan pearls, then hop along to my online shop or pop to my blog or follow the links there, or drop me an email or give me a call. Thanks for watching. I hope you come back and see me again soon and join in with some more creative projects. Bye now.